Hello. So it's Monday, right? I have to ask myself, what is going on here on the weekend when I'm away? So I've just been getting some wood and to burn, and I noticed in the snow spots of blood in the snow here, leading all the way up to the wood stack, like some kind of crime drama. And then when we get up here, there's like an area where the animal was laying, slowly dying probably, I don't know. And then the tracks go back into the field over there and you can see the faint outline of another patch where it laid down. Well, it looked like it was the last place it made it. This is kind of typical Austria, I have to say. And it's the second time it's happened while we've been working on the house. The first time we actually found the body, which was a deer that had been shot but had survived and had somehow managed to get its way down the mountain from the area where the hunters operate up there and perished. It's kind of a bit disconcerting thing to see, really, but it is part of the cultural landscape here, and I guess it won't be the last time it happens. So over the past couple of days I've been going through the whole house and filling in all the gaps, putting up the plaster, the soft cement that we have, and just closing it all up, which is now looking like this. It's a lot of cement and it's a lot of work. It's taken me like 2 days now to just do all of this, but it's good. Closing up all the holes and just making sure we're ready to put it in the water. Hello. Today is going to be a busy day. The plumber's coming and we've got a lot to get on with. I'm going to finish painting the cellar room just now. There have been a few things that I have to confess I've been keeping from you. And one of those things, I had a question a few weeks ago about why it is that we're putting in 2 toilets next to each other in this room. Here and here. And yes, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense if you're building a house with a living room and you have 2 toilets, unless you're like a a germaphobe and you don't want your guests using the same toilet as you. We've got a letter from our local council this week which has confirmed the change of use for the building. We had to go through this process. So first of all, we apply for residential use, and now we've changed it to commercial use. So I can now inform you that this space will be a cafe. And that is the main purpose, really, of us building here, is to have a cafe in the local, you know, serving the local community, and upstairs we'll have our apartment, our living space. Which means that this area here will be the cafe kitchen, cafe bar, and the main cafe. Of course, outdoor seating as well. Yeah, so I'm very pleased that we can tell you about this now, because trying to avoid saying cafe for a long time and not giving too much away, obviously because we didn't have the permission and we don't want to put it out there if it doesn't go through. And yes, we're thinking, well, that's a gamble, isn't it? Like, to build it anyway, waiting for the permission. Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. But we kind of knew where we were heading to. We talked to the local administrative bodies, and it was basically the path was laid out for us. So risks were lower. Yeah. So now you know. Cafe is coming. So the thing I didn't mention about the permission is, although we've got local council permission, we still have to wait for the regional permission. But it is kind of on the way, and well, we still have to wait, and we still have to build the house, so it's all going to take a little bit of time. And we're in Austria, so there's a lot of paperwork to do. The other thing we've done today is the last kitchen, which we'd left, partly because of this reason of permission. We had the plan of having 2 wood-burning stoves that go into one chimney, but we weren't sure if that was going to go through due to like fire code laws. So we decided to scrap one chimney and go ahead with that room anyway, because it was just holding everything up. So we've done that now, and I'll show you what it is. Basically the small apartment room with living and dining. This will eventually be the bar area, so we're just adding the electrical plugs and that'll be on the wall. Well, our plumber came and went. He's actually sick, so going to the doctor, but he left us with a load of stuff. So we're going to once again crack on and do it ourselves. Laying water pipe is a little bit different from anything else that we've done. So basically it's all going into this one access hole into the cellar, so that's where the main connection is of the water, the mains water. And of course we've got to plan out the different circles as the pipe goes into the cellar, so we're not getting crossovers, so that everything's clean and neatly done. And while we're doing that, of course, we've got to make sure that the correct cold or hot water pipe goes to the correct cold or hot water connection for the sink or whatever it's going to, shower. Otherwise you're going to have problems with your taps, right? So one's going to be cold and one's going to come out hot, for example. Important to keep in mind. We mark each of the pipes hot or cold, and the process that we're doing this is we're going to make sure that on the floor there's no connections. So all the pipe connections are going to be in the wall. So here, for example, you can see the connection for what's going to be a sink, and once the two main connections are made, then two secondary connections are then plugged in, and they go through the wall and on to the next sink or tap, wherever it is. And so we continue with the circle up into the toilets, and that means if we have any problems, leakages or something wrong with those connections, we don't have to dig up the whole floor, because there's insulation coming onto the floor, there's the electrical pipes coming onto the floor, there's the underfloor heating coming onto the floor, and loads of, it's good. It will be like drilling open a hole, getting through the heating system to try to repair that. So that's the advantage of doing it this way. Of course, it's a little bit more work, but we're doing it, so we're not paying ourselves for the work. Yeah, and the plumber left us his machines, so we just, with the materials that we had there, made a start. So the hose is a really flexible thing. We've got like a tool to use to bend it at 45-degree angles, but you can bend it by hand as well. Just got to be careful not to put a kink into it. And we're fixing it directly onto the floor as well, so that it's not moving, that it's nicely lined up, that no one trips over it.